So the Commonwealth versus Silanskas case is one that we've seen before. We're now looking at another aspect of this case, or different statements that were made in the case, and some old statements that we've seen before, but we're offering a new theory for their admissibility. As I've said in a number of different contexts, there may be more than one theory of admissibility for something. And if you can find a theory for admissibility, it doesn't matter that other theories would fail. So in Commonwealth versus Silanskas, this is the story of where Lillian Crowninshield and her lover, the defendant Silanskas, have murdered David Crowninshield and put him in a freezer. Now, in this case, this is not only a very bizarre case because of the murder itself, but their friend Conte Gilliam comes over to the house to look at a train set that's for sale. And for some reason that I can't understand at all, the defendant decides to show Conte Gilliam the victim's body in the freezer. When he shows the body, Lillian Crowninshield, the victim's wife, I guess now widow, says, David deserved to die because he was raping our daughter. Now, the question then is, and it's not like we don't now have plenty of evidence against David, but the question is whether Lillian's statement that David deserved to die, thereby implying that they killed him, is that statement now again admissible against Silanskas? And again, he's there. If that wasn't the case, if the implication that the two of them had killed him was not true, then we would have expected Silanskas to speak up. Slightly more problematically, the court goes back and looks at the statement that Lillian Crowninshield made to the waitress in the cafe, in which she says that David had joined the monastery, and that they were divorcing, and when the waitress offers a lawyer that she knows, Lillian Crowninshield says, "Oh, we won't need a lawyer," and then that a divorce won't be a problem, and then she and the defendant look at each other and giggle, presumably because they've killed the victim, David Crowninshield. The court says in that case, again, that meets the prerequisite for an adoptive admission, that we would have expected the defendant to speak up if the implications of what she was saying weren't true. I think that one is much more problematic. That's not necessarily a context in which we would have expected the defendant to speak up and say anything, or perhaps we wouldn't have. But when we look at the implication that Lillian Crowninshield is making when she says, looking over the late husband's dead body in the freezer, he deserved to die, the implication that they've killed him, we would have expected the defendant to speak up and say, look, I wasn't a part of this killing, if in fact he wasn't. And so that one is a really good example, or a very clear example, of something that would also qualify as an adoptive admission under 801D.